long before now, I have stopped listening to the president.
Why?
Long before now. Because it's a walking contradiction. The president.
How do you mean?
He doesn't believe in what he says, and he says things just for the benefit of his audience, but he doesn't walk the talk. I hope I've answered your question. The president, be it locally or internationally, makes good sound bites. But this president does not believe in those things that he says. I don't know whether some of the things he says, he picks them from people, as he's noted for, plagiarizing people's speeches, and that's how come he doesn't follow them through, or he doesn't do them. Or he just says them so that some of his communities can come and say that, oh, the president delivered one of the best speeches, as usual. But when you look at it, this president, let's take Ghana Beyond Aid. If you have an objective, which is a stated objective, you don't do things that will defeat that stated objective. And that's where your question comes from. Your question is born out of this quagmire, this irony, where you have a president say something, but his government does other things or different things that will go to defeat the purpose for which he stated that objective. So, for instance, Ghana Beyond Aid. And yet, this is a government that has borrowed us into a hole. A government that says that we should look internally. Ghana Beyond Aid means internally. That's all of it.
But the borrowing, it's because of COVID, Russia, Ukraine.
This book can be encapsulated into, let's look internally to resolve our issues. And yet, this is the government that has borrowed more than government that didn't say Ghana Beyond Aid. Is that not ironic? Is that not a person who, I would say, is sleepwalking? And so, look, the president told the people of this country, there will not be haircuts, boldly. And he says those things without leaving room for anybody to think that he could mean any other thing. Clearly, today we have seen our oldies, those he is in the same age bracket with, and he should have been sympathizing with them because that is his bracket. The president's bracket. Some are saying that they can't even get money to buy medicine.
Because of the debt exchange.
And but yet this is a president who came and told all of us.
Coupons.
You are hearing the president, is it last 2 days or 3 days, say that Africa should trade among itself?
Yes. It was in Qatar 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yes. Good soundbite. But check and see who are our trading partners, who we trade with more than any other country. They are out of this African continent. So you have a president who looks at the audience and says, what can I say to hoodwink these people? That's all.
What do you mean by hoodwink?
You don't know what I'm talking about.
You cannot say that to the president. The president speaks and you claim that he's hoodwinking.
In fact, sometimes people say it's a con man. So, is it worse than what I said? You should have left me at where I am, because you are urging me to say more things. So, if you have a president who does that, say one thing and does another. Look, this president has a catalog of things he has said. And the next day, it is the other way around. You remember when his vigilante boys were on rampage, beating people all over? He went to Asantehene and said that never again, under his watch, would this happen. When he left Asantehene's place, some of them in the Eastern region were attacking people. So you don't know whether the president...
How is that related to...
I am talking about a president who says one thing and another thing happens. That's my analysis this morning. And so the things you are hearing now about let's unite as Africa, let's trade amongst ourselves, let's ensure that all these things are rhetoric. The president does not believe in them. He won't do them. And that is the reason why Amaliba, has stopped listening to the president. I better hear snippets of it from people than to. His voice even irks me because he doesn't believe in what he says. So, the short and long of it is that, yes, we have a president who gives good sound bites, but we have a president who, again, will not walk the talk. And such a president cannot be believed. Such a president cannot be trusted. And that is why this country is where it is. Because if you are a foreigner and you happen to arrive in this country and you hear our president speak on TV the first time, you will go back to your country with the impression that Ghana has a very good president just by listening to him. But his conduct, the conduct of his government is diametrically opposed to the things he says.
How is it the president's fault that we're doing so well, according to what the indicators were from the Bank of Ghana, the Fiscal Service, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, towards the end of the year, by October, China had started recording COVID numbers. By December, January, it had gotten to Europe, Italy, etc. And since then, we had Russia and Ukraine from last year. Why do you blame the president for this?
Did the IMF say it was only the COVID? Didn't the IMF also say that
the pre-existing fiscal vulnerabilities?
That our own management of our finances and over borrowing has brought us to where we are. And you see, when you talk about this, you make us also say that COVID was even a blessing to this government. COVID was a blessing to this government.
How?
The amount of money these people received under COVID is unprecedented.
But they used it for free electricity for you. You had free water, all those things.
Did you hear?
You're not happy for it.
Did you hear the Northern Regional, Olivia, the lady in Tamale, say that money was distributed to them like confettis and granules for them to do campaigning? Is that what COVID money is supposed to be used for? So I'm saying that COVID has hit every country, but our own conducts, 2016, 2017, 2018, is because the NDC had gone into an IMF program and they inherited it. And that program was a program that disciplined them to stay within the on course. That program disciplined them. When the program ended, the veil was lifted. You saw the real MPP government. You saw their size. That's their size we have today.
No, it's because of COVID, and then the subsequent was Ukraine.
And I'm saying that COVID, yes. Ukraine, yes. Even Azerbaijan, yes. Croatia, yes. We agree. Give it to them. But your own borrowing, which is unprecedented, and we were complaining about this in this country. This IMF country report has mentioned that as one of the causes. But you see, when as a people we were complaining and saying that you are over borrowing, I remember at 2000 then, the minority spokesperson on finance, the ranking, he made this point about over borrowing. They didn't listen to him. You get the point. But I'm sure they will listen to the IMF. And these are the schoolboys, the small schoolboys they said they won't go to. You remember that they won't allow schoolboys, small schoolboys, to come and sit and tell them how to manage this economy. They've now gone to those small schoolboys. People in government have more qualifications than these IMF boys. But today the IMF boys are telling them what to do. Because you have a president who feels what he says is final. And you have a president who can sleep and dream of a national cathedral and pump money into it. So our expenditure was also another issue. Have you noticed that the government is now addressing the issue of government expenditure because IMF has raised it?
Well, they've always addressed it.
What?
The last budget, you didn't see cuts. There won't be workshops. You have to do the workshop. Don't buy 4-wheel drives.
Do you know allocations to government?
There's even 30% reduction or cuts in earnings of those who fall within Article 71 office.
Do you know that government
within the presidency?
Do you know that allocation to Jubilee House government machinery has even gone up? Is that cut?
Well, from the last budget, yes.
Yes.
But therefore,
yes, but you say,
therefore exigent.
You say you are in an austere situation. You say you are in difficult times. They call Parliament to approve of trade loans again. Did you hear the President 2 days ago talk about returning to the international market? Did you?
You want me to cut him?
Did you hear? Forget about him. When he was talking, who told you should cut him? You don't come here and direct people how to control the program.
Please allow him.
If I'm hitting you, you were talking. I was uncomfortable. But why is he saying that you should cut me? For what reason?
No, please.
What
it was just a side. It was just a side. Please.
He has no right to do that on this program.
Please
Nobody does that on this program. See, recently, Parliament was recalled to approve
710
loans
total.
You see. And it is this your borrowing that has led us to this. The president 2 days ago, said he was so eager for us to go back to the international market. What for? Is it because your cousin, the finance minister, gets 10% from the borrowing, and that is how come you want us to quickly go back there? What is the problem? You are in IMF program. The program has not even rolled up to 3 months, and you are already you are salivating for going to the international market to borrow. Why? So, all in all, a president who talks but does not walk the talk, a president who does not believe in what he says, and a president who cannot be trusted when he says the things that he says.